Hermetic texts treat mind, nous, as the soul's pilot. I'll pull the main passages and how later readers describe putting that into practice. In classical Hermeticism, using mind as pilot means letting nous, divine intellect, the God mind in you, steer the soul instead of bodily passions, fate-bound impulses, and discursive opinion. Without that pilot, the texts say human souls behave like irrational animals, driven by desire that never satisfies. Corpus Hermeticum 12. Below is how the tradition describes what nous is, how you take the helm, and a practical path drawn mainly from CHI 4, 10, 11, 12, and 13. What pilot means. Soul, psyche, animates the body. Mind, nous, is a higher, godlike knowing that can govern the soul. In CH 12, Hermes maps the chain, body, soul, mind, God. Humans can have logos, reason, shared widely, but nous is not automatically active in everyone. It must be won or received. When nous pilots, passions are judged and restrained. Mind acts like a physician to the soul in several summaries of the tradition. The person can move with divine order rather than being tossed by fate and sense. When nous does not pilot, mind still cooperates with whatever the soul already wants, giving full play to irrational desires, CH 12. The person never ceases to rage and lust, never satiate, CH 12. The same pattern as greed and other tormentors. So use mind as pilot is not positive thinking. It is shifting the center of gravity from sense and appetite to noetic knowing. Step 1. Know the difference. Logos versus nous, CH root, Jin Salviar. The cup or monad is central. God gave logos, reason, to all people. Mind, nous, was placed as a prize, athlon, in the midst, not withheld from malice, but not poured into everyone by default. God filled a cup with mind and sent a herald. Humans must choose to turn toward it and drink. Practical implication. Reason can argue about virtue. Piloting requires noetic awakening, gnosis of God and of your divine kinship, not mere ethics by willpower. Step 2. Withdraw the bodily senses, the core switch. CH 13, Secret Sermon on the Mountain, gives the most explicit how-to for rebirth, framed as mind taking command. Withdraw into thyself, and it will come, will, and it comes to pass. Throw out of work the body's senses, and thy divinity shall come to birth. Purge the brutish torments of matter. Hermes tells Tat that rebirth cannot be taught like ordinary doctrine. It happens when you quiet sense engagement so nous can appear. Tat's ordinary mind feels blocked. The shift is sensory sobriety, noetic vision. Compare CHI, bodily senses held back in meditation, sleep-like stillness, then poimandres appears. Concrete practices aligned with the text, modern framing. You can look at the table in the conversation history. This is the helm. You stop letting every stimulus set course. Step 3. Purify what steers you. The 12 tormentors. Without purification, pilot is theoretical. Passions pilot you through the senses. CH 13 lists 12 tormentors: ignorance, grief, intemperance, lust, injustice, avarice, error, envy, guile, anger, rashness, malice. Each is driven out by invoking a divine power, e.g., sharing with all against avarice. Scholars note, in CH 13, these virtues' powers are kinds of gnosis. To know justice, truth, etc., is to have them as nous. Your true self is constituted as nous in that frame. Daily piloting. When a tormentor rises, anger, greed, envy, name it, reduces ignorance. Call the opposite power, not as empty affirmation, but as alignment with divine mind, generosity versus greed, truth versus deceit. CHI adds mercy, reverence, and refusal of envy, greed, violence, and bodily indulgence as the moral atmosphere in which gnosis grows. Piloting equals real-time course correction, not one meditation high. Step 4. Pursue gnosis, not only information. CHX, the key, contrasts episteme, teachable, word-bound knowledge, with gnosis, unitive knowing. He who knows is good, pious, and divine while still on earth. God's gnosis is the sole salvation for a man. Using mind as pilot, less content accumulation, more recognition of the all in God and God in self. CHI, God holds the cosmos as thoughts within himself. Reverence, eusebia, is knowledge of God, Who knows God has divine thoughts, not merely human ones. CHI 22 in many editions. Pilot equals quality of knowing, not IQ. Step 5. Make yourself like God. Expand noetic identification. CHI and the famous like is known by like passage. To apprehend God, leap clear of the corporeal, in thought span all times, places, qualities. Don't shut the soul in the body with I can do nothing, I fear earth and sea. CH11 adds, withdraw from contentious speeches and you find that mind, God's soul, bears rule over fate and law. Pilot exercise, text aligned. 1. Sit in withdrawal. 2. Imagine, not fantasize randomly, the cosmos as divine thought. Above, below, unity, as within, so without in spirit, not as a magic formula. 3. When the inner voice says, I am only this small afraid body, answer with the Hermetic counter. You are deathless in kinship with mind, capable of all-seeing thought in principle. 4. Avoid contentious loops. They hand the wheel back to passion and fate. Step 6. Follow the Poimandres pattern. Meditate on what is. Sitar Asha begins with Hermes meditating on how the world came to be and who made it. Senses restrained like deep sleep after food. Then Poimandres, nous of the all, appears. Pilot habit, regular cosmological meditation. What is first cause? What am I in this light, nous, logos, creation story? What must I shed to ascend? The 7 zones map attachments you surrender. That meditation is asking nous to meet you. The pilot appears when the helmsman looks up from the deck of senses. Step 7. Rebirth frame. When pilot becomes stable, CH13 culminates in rebirth. Noera genesis, birth and understanding. When 10 powers drive out the 12, Tat's eyes of the heart, nous, stay open. Hermes describes himself as born in nous with an immortal body, not flesh, but noetic embodiment. For practice, you don't need to claim full initiation. The structure is 1. Silence plus withdrawal of senses. 2. Invocation of powers against tormentors. Hymnic, solemn, not casual. 3. Hymn of praise. The text sings what cannot be merely taught. 4. Service. Several modern readers note gnosis in Hermeticism tends toward presence and teaching, not escapism. Piloting matures when vision isn't only in retreat, but informs conduct in the world. CHI. Hermes goes out to preach after illumination. A simple daily mind as pilot routine. 1. Morning. Cup. Intend to receive mind as prize, not just plan the day with logos. 2. Pause. Withdraw. 10 to 20 minutes or brief resets. Senses down, attention inward, upward on the divine all. 3. Watch. Tormentors. When passion spikes, name tormentor. Invoke power. 1 breath. This is anger. I call on. 4. Steer. Ethics. Mercy, reverence. No greed, envy, violence. Generosity when grasping appears. 5. Night. Review. Where did body, senses pilot? Where did gnosis flash? No self-torture. Reverence is knowing, not shame. What the texts do not promise. Nous isn't automatic for all. CH4. Rebirth isn't a DIY technique guarantee. CH13 stresses secrecy, gift, and divine mercy. Classical Hermeticism is not one modern law of attraction system. Piloting is moral plus noetic plus relational to God. 1-sentence summary. Use mind as pilot by repeatedly withdrawing from sense tyranny, purifying the passions that hijack the soul, choosing the cup of nous, gnosis of God, and thinking from the divine scale. So logos serves and nous steers until conduct and vision align with mind in God. If you want to go deeper next, we can walk through the 10 powers invocation in CH13 line by line as a structured contemplation, or compare this pilot to Stoic hegemonicon and Platonic charioteer, close cousins in late antique thought.